an imaginary answer. For example, you are attempting first, for example, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 in bracket Roman 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember what you're going to do. You take 2. There are a lot of times I've seen the children, they've selected 2 that I'm going to answer to. And then they thought, no, 3 is easy. And they started writing the third. So what is the answer? What's the solution to this problem? Which is, as a human if it's possible, it's possible. So we call it Murphy's law. And the thing is, way to happen, then it'll happen that way, someday or the other. So you write the keyword. The second hadith was, suppose in your question paper, first was deen is religion, is sincerity, and the second hadith was, for example, you cannot be a believer unless you prefer for a brother what you prefer yourself. So just write down here now as a keyword that I am attempting. You don't have to say I am attempting, you just say prefer for your brother, ... That will help you also remain alert that I am answering this hadith. And that even if there is a mistake here on the 1 or 2, and in a hurry you have written 2 and it looks like 3, or you written 1, don't think that it's not possible. When you people are in the examination hall and when we look at the paper which you have attempted, we have a lot of things to smile about. Don't mind that. Teachings about what Muslims believe. Now, let's have it a little higher. Must write in your paper, there is note. This is the heading in your own words, this keyword. I hope this is very clear. That's why I'm taking a little more time. If you just explain the hadith to you and say, tell you to go ahead in the exam, I know in examination what all errors can take place and how poor children who even worked hard and really put in their best still lose marks. So I hope you will understand that you must write in your own in your paper answer sheet the heading, as I said, prefer for brother. I have chosen this out of that, hadith. Now, heading in your own words on the answer sheet for achieving clarity. If there was something so far not clear, I'm sure now it's getting clearer and clearer as to how you're going to attempt it in the examination hall. So hence, more marks. Note, examiner's words this time, not examiner's word. These are your teacher's words, now onwards. Will greatly help you remember correct points. If you noted the hadith, if you got the theme out of it, that means you have really pondered over it. When you've pondered over it and have come with a certain heading, don't go for cramming, please. I will request you all your life, you try and understand things. And that's what Quran asks you, ponder over yourself, your surroundings. You will greatly help you, it will greatly help you remember the correct points. And however, real technique to remind each point for a good answer is through reading the translation. You read the translation 1 second, although you have done it so many times in, before the exam with your, self, having practiced. And there will be some method we will, are going to tell you that you can even get back with me or, get to your website and try and show us the answer, that is this the right answer? And there can be a little bit of discussion which can even take place. So far, if we are clear, we can go ahead now and see. This is now again to remind you, I have put it in part A as points now. Main parts the answer must contain. This is now your teacher telling you. Is to emphasize, re-emphasize, emphasize. That's what the habit you should get. First of all, that means you have to identify, is hadith about individual or community? You've done it? Okay. Half the marks you've got. Identify and comment on the main theme. That means what is it about? Is it about business? Is it about modesty? Is it about how to speak? Is it about the charity? There are so many topics, right? Then the main teachings. That means visible through quotation, giving the quotations, which identify the clear belief. As I said, that if the Prophet has said that, this world is a cultivating ground for the hereafter. Al-dunya mazratul akhirah. What's the belief visible? This is a very simple one. Akhirah. Right? And the practice is that we must have a sense of accountability. Now, but by the way, this is an old hadith, old syllabi hadith. Now your hadith you have in your syllabi. A little, I must say, challenging. But these are the 3 parts in your answer which must be visible. We take the B part separately. You might have been thinking that this is a hell of a job. But by the way, this is not a hell of a job. It is an easy thing, but don't take it easily. That's an advice. How Muslims put these teachings into action. Simple. Must write in your own paper. that note this heading is your own words on the answer sheet for achieving clarity, hence more marks. Again the same, not examiner's words, my words. You have written the hadith, I'm again and again reminding you on the top, so that even if you get to write that this is the second you are attempting first, fourth you are attempting first, and you forgot to tell which hadith happened. You could say, sir, examiner will know, for God's sake. If you don't write on the left side of your margin which question you are attempting, the examiners have said it many a time that will cross out. They don't have to think that which one are you attempting. So please be careful about it. Will greatly help you remember correct points, as I said. However, real technique will remain the same, that you read the translation, Arabic translation, and you will be able to know what are really the points you have to write down in the B part. Again, reminding you through the summary of what we have learned so far. In B part, the answer must contain following: practices, not one, but maybe two, maybe three, maybe four. If you got 4 beliefs or 2 beliefs which are visible in the A part, then you will talk about as many practices. That's a keyword. I mean, that's a formula. That's not, that cannot be violated. If you talked about 2 ahadith, 2 beliefs in the first part A, then part B will have 2 practices. I think that's natural. Practices related to each belief, highlighting the main teachings with the help of examples. And I am telling you again and again, best way 2 hadiths you have to attempt related to you as student. So related to your studies, and related to you with your parents, very easy. Related to you and your canteen, related to you and your break and your school and your road and your life. But do not talk about, as I said, philosophies which are not required by me and you. So talk about the practical examples, will fetch you more marks. From day-to-day life, related to individual or community or both. Now this is available to you in your website, as well as it's available to you now in the lesson. Here we are now going to go the key word. Now suppose it's the second example which I can go over now. And now I attempted now the fourth. First I attempted second, then fourth. This is going to be now the same. This we can go over. Then this is how you're going to attempt A, 1, 2, 3, whichever you are these, but keyword along with it. Then the second of these you are attempting, number on the left side of the margin, and the keyword on the inside in your answer sheet. I hope it's absolutely clear now that you are attempting 2 ahadiths. Each you will tell which one are you attempting, and each you will give the keyword that I am attempting about modesty. For example, the hadith is about modesty. So you just say modesty. One word, and but is the keyword. But it will remind you that you are attempting modesty, and you should talk about the beliefs which are related to modesty. Right? Right. Now I am going to go over to this hurriedly. I'm not going to go over. Now I'll tell you one thing. In green, below, when we're going to start talking about the hadiths in your syllabi and how to answer them, in green are how to answer. I've covered the answer when I'm going to give you. In green are extra points. Only if time permits in the examination, if you have time left with you, then you are going to talk about them. You're going to mention them, but otherwise you may not. And must for achieving a star A. And that's I tell you is through as long as I think there have been 6 papers of this latest syllabus. And I think those people who followed this technique and followed these methods, they ended up with the star A's. First of these in our syllabus is what we have talked about so far. We've introduced ourselves to the method of answering through this very hadith. Religion is sincerity. We said to whom? The Prophet Muhammad said to Allah, to his book and his messenger. And by the way, how clearly he has answered you. What is religion? I think all over the world, if you ask the whole world today that what is religion, somebody will say religion is a good thing, religion is to believe in God, religion is to way of life, religion is, even you ask me, I think I will say religion is a way of life. Deen. Al-Deen kullu ma'amalat. Deen is all but the affairs of the world. This is also the Prophet's word. But here, look at the answer he has given you. The first of your response, if you remember the word, in your syllabi. Response, your examiner is looking for the response. The first response should be the wisdom of the Prophet. The first response should be, these pearls of wisdom are giving us great information. So this is how what I am going to tell you, that you're going to make a difference after these lessons as to what is your answer and the answer of the people who have not been through this all technique. Now read I'm again reminding you, is the belief, the A part, and B part, practices, is in the blue. We take this hadith now. Now, translation is in front of us. Religion is sincerity. Now I'm reading it again and again. By the way, this is the technique I am recommending you, that when you go over your exam, although you have done it before exam, so many practices that when you will see that hadith in the examination occurring in the paper, say, oh, I'm so lucky, I have done it so many times. But now, so that's why I'm reading it. Religion is sincerity. We said to whom? The Prophet said to Allah, His book and His messengers, not messengers. Now there are a lot of people at my age can make a mistake that Allah, this hadith is talking about the God Almighty, it's talking about the book, I think Quran, and the messengers. The point to be noted is, the point is messengers. So that means it's the last messenger, although we believe in all of them. So it is Rasul, not the, Risala. So that's the point where, again, I said, if you read it many times, but you're not attempting only in the paper that you will be there, you will be noting down all these ahadis, all these minor points, and these small points, but that's what can make us go wrong. Now, why I have given you the first part here, if you notice, that as I said that we can divide it into two parts. The Prophet is given here, there's a beautiful word, it's a German word, but if you want to use it, overall picture, but I don't think it's a real good word. Prophet ﷺ is given here the Weltanschauung of Quranic concept, the complete outlook, the world outlook of the Quran. World outlook is again not the word, but if you can remember this word, I'm sure your examiner is going to be impressed. We're not, that's our job actually. So here is the complete, the crux of the religion. What is religion? The concept of religion in this eloquent hadith, clear hadith. There's another unfortunate part. We say beautiful food, beautiful clothes, beautiful person, beautiful weather. No. For each there is a separate word. For a language you have a word eloquent. So eloquent hadith, a subtle balance. A beautiful balance again? No. Subtle balance between the rights of Allah and Haqooq Allah and rights of fellow beings. That's your first comment. If you remember now, I'll tell you. I said this verb, dark red, is what is a kind of introduction. Is a kind of start, logical build-up. If you remember my words, logical build-up. This is the color. And then say the Prophet elucidates, clarifies, explains in this hadith the true spirit of religion, its true significance, application, and practice. Now this is the answer, by the way. If you want to note it down, note it down. Otherwise, just download it from your website, and this is your answer. So Prophet signifies the practical implication, highlighting the crux of both its individual. Now, why have I underlined this? To let the examiner know that my student knows that he has to identify that is the hadith about the individual or is it about community. But I think with my humble, appreciation, and you'll agree with me analysis, the hadith is talking about both individual as well as the community. Believing in God. If you've seen, remember that video about effects of Tawheed, it makes you a better person, and a better person is a better contribution to the society and the community. So this is what is Islam actually, you will love it. Thus, the vital-most teaching. Now the word teaching is there. The word community, individual, is there. Right, the word belief will be there. The examiner can't say that this candidate has not answered my question. As I said, if you ask me what is comment on this multimedia, and I say this is Panasonic, this is white, this is good, this is mine.